to know you're there on this week's episode of Focus on FCT as we bring activities of the FCT administration closer to you. I am Mariam George Jitbo.
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory are hereby alerted to the activities of scavengers, also known as Babambola, which security agencies have identified as a high-level security threat to not only the residents but also to our infrastructure as they perpetrate petty stealing and acts of vandalism on public utilities. More so, they are drug peddlers, serve as spies to terrorist elements, and are ready-made tools for the public disturbances during which they attack people with dangerous weapons. The Federal Capital Territory Administration therefore reiterates that the ban on scavengers aka Bababula operating within the Federal Capital City is still in force. These miscreants are advised to stay off the streets of the Federal Capital City for their own good, as defaulters will be apprehended and prosecuted, including parents of underage children involved in these practices. Relevant agencies are carrying out enforcement of this ban as stipulated. Be law-abiding always. Let's together build the FCT of our dreams. Management Announcer.
Being an academic provider, the FCT Education Resource Center is also the custodian of the FCT Public Libraries that is open for the use of all residents. Recently, the center, in line with its statutory mandate, monitored different examinations in the territory to ensure compliance to the extant rules and regulations. In an interview, the director, Education Resource Center, Nima Dawood Abdurrahim, gives insight on what the center is doing to enhance the reading culture among the youths in the FCT. These and more after the timeout. Do stay with us. I now have with me the director, FCT Education Resource Center, in the person of Hajia Nima Dawood Abdurrahim. Glad to have you join us on Focus on FCT.
Thank you. It's always nice to be with you.
What is the role of FCT Education Resource Center in examination monitoring?
The FCT Education Resource Center is the academic nerve center of the FCT Education Secretariat that usually provides specialized services and supports the learning process in education in all our public schools and private schools, and also to the general public. In carrying out this, the FCT FCT ERC is also saddled with the responsibility of conducting 5 major examinations for both the public and the private schools. So the role of FCT ERC is very, very critical as far as examination in FCT is concerned. Aside from the 5 major examinations which we conduct, which are mock WASE, the BC examination, and also the promotion of SS1 and SS2 public schools in FCT, and also the school for sciences and technical colleges. We have 6 of them in FCT, and school for the gifted. These are the 5 major exams that we conduct in FCT. Aside from that, we also monitor other examinations that are being carried out or meted out to our students in FCT, such as the NMS, that's the Nigeria Military Schools Area Examination, the NDA Entrance Examination, the NAPTEC, and other examination. In short, any examinations that are being conducted in FCT that has to do with both our primary and secondary school exam, we monitor WAEC examination and also NECO, both BC and we are currently monitoring the NECO final year examination for the SS3. So our role is very critical as far as monitoring of examination is concerned in FCT, because we have to determine the quality of the examination and also to be sure that exam malpractices are curbed in our schools, and to be sure that the right quality is being, questions are being given to our students, and that there are no signs of exam malpractices. So we are always on the field, and we are currently carrying out this our examination period from May till August. Examination is ongoing, so we are all on standby and on our feet going around FCT to monitor examinations.
Now, what is your general assessment of school examinations in the FCT?
Well, every year the FCT Education Resource Center does analysis of both WAEC and NECO final examination, and also that of BICHI, which is being carried out by the ERC. So far, our assessment has been there is some tremendous improvement in the 2022 examination, especially as it concerns WAEC and NECO. However, this year we have not, the exam is still ongoing, we've not done the analysis. But from what we had last year, what we had for the mock this year, we saw some standard fall, especially in the mathematics and English. And based on that, we reported this to the education secretariat, and the education secretariat has given approval for us to train teachers on English and math teachers on the new rudiments of teaching of mathematics and English. And the reason being that the ERC is also saddled with training of teachers, and once we do conduct exam and we see any fall or increase, we report this, and then action is immediately taken. And we have always had the support of the FCT administration in any time we make our reports as it concerns examination. And like I said, from this week, which the starting of by August, now that the schools are on holidays, we'll start training, series of training for teachers, subject teachers, mathematics, English, French, and other science subjects, and other subject teachers. So training is currently in place for us to train our teachers to see that our exam next session, there will be a lot of improvement. And I must also say that we are expecting a lot of improvement in this year's WAEC. Why do I say so? Because immediately we made reports for our mock result, and our observation were quickly taken up by the administration, and the schools immediately also took up the report by making sure that they go extra length to train our students and do extra lessons for students, to see that by the time they are sitting for the WAEC examination, there are a lot of things, loopholes that we discover are being taken care of. So I'm expecting that this year's results, there will also be an improvement, and that is the essence of the mock anyway, to make sure that the weakness and the strengths of the students and teachers are being observed.
Let's shift attention to the process of online examination registration in the FCT. Can you share with us the processes involved in the exercise?
The FCT Education Resource Center, like I said, is involved in conduct of examination. And what all our examination, the 5 major examinations that I spoke about earlier, are all done online. Registration are done online through Remitter portal. These have started since 2021, when the portal, the Remitter portal was introduced. Before, it used to be through and we have service providers that are also involved in the examination registration process. However, especially when we want to release the result and all that, because these are done online, and we give code numbers from FCT, which we do through the service provider. However, you go to our website for registration of all our exam. Currently, the Science and Technical Colleges registration is ongoing. We opened the portal last week, I think, or so, and I think on the 17th of July, the portal was open, and it's running till the 17th of August, and the examination will come up on the 19th of August. So you go to parents and guardians or students, of GS3 going to SS1, because this current exam is for SS1 student and it's for science inclined student. So they go on to the portal, which is they register through our website www.fcterc.online.site. So they usually go there to register and they have a particular token payment to make. And once the process, it's a very simple process. Once you go onto the portal and you click on the registration form, all the instructions are very clear there. Simple instruction of filling the names, your school, and all those your personal details, so to say, the student personal details, and with uploading of your passport photograph to be sure of who is sitting for the examination. And once that is done, you print out and then you bring to the ERC for us for record purpose, and also to assign centers.
ERC as academic provider to schools, what is your perception of examinations generally or studies generally in the FCT?
I will say that as an educator and also as a director of an academic center, my observation is very, very clear that the learning process in FCT compared to some other states of the Federation is quite impressive. The Federal Capital Territory Administration does not rest on their oars to see that education in FCT is given priority. And that is why in all we do at the ERC, we always have the support of the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Olushade Adeshola, and the Secretary at the Education Secretariat, because they are aware of the important role of the ERC, and even in respect of other departments under the Education Secretariat, the FCTA gives cognizance to their visions and mission, and they are always and their mandates. So they are always ready to assist. And for that, I believe that learning process in FCT is quite impressive. Of course, there is always room for improvement, and we are working hard to see where some loopholes are, to see that we manage it, and also report back to the authority of areas that we can improve upon. We are not there yet, but it's quite impressive the way we are.
With provision of many libraries in the FCT, why are we still experiencing low reading culture among the youths?
Yeah, like anytime I'm asked about the issue of reading culture, I think it has to do with so many factors. Our children these days are more interested in pressing their phone. Every stakeholder has a role to play, especially starting from the home, the parents, and all that. When we were growing up, our parents encouraged us to go to the library. I know that when I was at home in those days, we have community libraries where we visit. But these days, parents don't do that. And even I remember my parents, especially my dad, when I was in primary school, my birthday present used to be a novel, a book. But these days, we parents are more interested in buying toys or other things for our children. And these are and sometimes it's also good to have our little corners in our home where we encourage our children to read. And even if it's newspaper, once you imbibe that culture and all that, but we are more interested in buying this smartphone for our children these days. And I look at it that children are also more interested in that, because they believe that, oh, they can always get the answer from Google, they can get the answer from here, but forgetting the fact that the reading book is more positively impacting on the knowledge of the children than all that. And we are still like the libraries we have in FCT. We have the city library at the zone 4, and also that of Gudu library, and Buhari library, and that of reference library at the ERC. We are trying to see how we can encourage reading culture. Like for instance, during this holiday, starting from next week on the 7th, there is this program we do at the city library we call a beer hug, that is books enlightening and reading helps us grow for children between the age of 6 to 16 years. And we are doing the season 10 by this year. What we do during the summer holiday is to bring children to the library to see. That's our own little way of encouraging the reading culture and bring children from different um, from both public and private schools that we gather there to share ideas on burning issues and also encourage reading. We also involve them in a reading competition, drama, and also research and writing skills.
Now to the challenges faced by the center and what is the way forward?
The center, of course, in the last 2-3 years, have made some tremendous improvement, and also some, especially in the area of our examination, conduct of our examinations. Like I always say, we can't do this without the support of the FCT administration. We've had tremendous, in the last 3 years, ERC has enjoyed tremendous support of the FCTA, especially with our permanent secretary, current permanent secretary. He has always been present in all our programs, tried to understand what we do at the ERC, and for that, we have had a lot of improvement. However, uh, we are not there yet, and we are still trying to see how we can improve more, especially as it concerns when you talk about examination. Our mini printing press, for instance, is really crying for expansion and also for equipment. I must also say that at this juncture that approval has been given for the expansion, the contract will be awarded for the expansion of the printing press, because that's where we print our examination. We don't take our examination questions, we don't take it outside the ERC to avoid the leakages. And
Let's wrap up the discussion with your advice to parents and students.
well, my advice is always very, very simple to parents. I think parents need to be more involved in the day-to-day activities, academic activities of their children, especially the schools are closed down now. They are going on holiday for the next 6 weeks or thereabout. And they need to really monitor what they do. They should engage them in positive activities, such as I've just said that we'll be having a beer hug program at the city library. These are some of the places they should enroll their children, so that they are more productive during the holiday.
It's always a delight having you on Focus on FCT.
Thank you.
Yes.
The FCT administration has observed an increase in the influx of street beggars into the city and metropolis. When you give alms directly to street beggars, you encourage this unwholesome practice with its attendant risks to all. Remember, street begging remains banned in the FCT. Residents are encouraged to channel their alms through recognized channels as the churches, mosques, and orphanages. A better approach which still guarantees the reward of your kind gesture, as neither Islam nor Christianity encourages begging. This way, we can rid the city of this menace. To keep Abuja safe is our collective responsibility. Play your part. This message is from the FCT administration.
That was quite commendable and a right step in the right direction to ensure better results. Up next is review of FCTA activities for the past week.
Nasarawa State is one of the closest contiguous states to the nation's capital, sharing similar challenges in the neighboring communities in the areas of security and infrastructure development. The visiting governor Abdullahi Sule, while extolling the leadership qualities of the FCT Minister Yesen Wike, solicits support as he pledges the commitment of Nasarawa State on joint infrastructural projects in the areas of metro train and other infrastructure development on the boundary communities.
In Nasarawa State at the border, Jos about 5 kilometers from Maitama 2. We do have about 13,000 hectares of land. It's an initiative of our previous governor. We came in and took care of most of the other agreements. We call it Guruku Kabusu area. That is one area that, Honorable Minister, we came and sold to the FCT that we can jointly build another Kigali. And we can also build another Dubai. And actually, we can't do it alone. We can only do it with the help of the FCT.
FCT Minister Yensen Wiki attributes the previous challenges to the awards of multiple projects without the necessary funds to complete them. He assures the Nasarawa State Governor of his resolve to work in synergy, pointing out that he will review the issues raised with a view to determining the priority projects to be funded to improve the lives of the citizenry.
Abuja cannot grow if you don't do anything that will also positively impact on Nasarawa State. We will discuss further with you on this issue, these two main issues, the Metro Line and the Abacha Barracks. The other one of 13 hectares of land, I do not know the place. The one who can do will go ahead and do it and achieve it.
This courtesy visit is the first of its kind by a sitting governor since assuming duty as the 17th minister of the FCT. The 10 graded third-class chiefs that benefited from this gesture are the chiefs of Garki, Jiwa, Pai, Gwamani, Zuba, and Esu of Bwari. Others are chiefs of Gorgoda, Rubochi, Yaba, and Wako. At a symbolic presentation, the FCT Minister Yesun Wike says, in line with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, his administration aims to empower our fathers to play their role in ensuring peace and security in their communities.
We believe that traditional institutions have a role to play. And part of the role is to support government in creating an enabling environment where our people can live and carry out their businesses. And that is to support government to fight insecurity. FCT must work. I try as well as I can and encourage the area councils to work and partner with the traditional rulers.
Speaking on behalf of other traditional rulers, the owner of Abaji and chairman FCT Council of Chiefs, Alhaji Adamu Baba Yunusa, appreciates the minister for assisting with the vehicles, assuring that they will be utilized to promote peace and security in their respective domains.
We have been doing it before, our football have done your state, and here we are doing more.
This assistance, stakeholders believe, will go a long way in strengthening the harmonious relationship between the FCT administration and the traditional institution in the overall interest of the people.
Up next is our Sanitation Watch.
This action by the Joint Task Force team, led by the Director, Federal Capital Development Control, Mokhtar Kaladima, is to rid the city of all illegalities which contribute to the insecurity as well as distorting the original master plan.
You know, in line with the current administration policy of sanitizing the city, that's why we have started from other parts of the city. This is just a continuation of what we have started. Because we cannot just be building a city that within 30 years it's become a slum. No, we have to do something quick to save the situation.
Secretary, Command and Control Center and the FCTA, Peter Olomuji, appealed to all residents in the area to support the work being done by the Development Control. This, he says, is to give residents adequate security in all areas affected. Joint Task Force team, the Security and Civil Defense Corps, the Army, FRSC, DRTS, the police, as well as stakeholders, are working with all agencies to give the city a befitting face as required by the original master plan.
whatever you say, whatever you report, if it has a positive effect, you will be part of it. How could anybody say I said I will fix Abuja in 6 days time? All I said to the directors who are responsible, that you have 6 days to let me have what it will take to implement or execute these short-term deliveries. That's what I said. I never said Abuja will be fixed in 6 days time. And that's what a media house will go and carry. I never one day said the number of houses that will be demolished. All I said, if there are illegal structures or those who are distorting the master plan, that we have no cause but to say, look, the right thing must be done. So please, it is important when you are reporting, report what we have said. Don't report what you think.
And with that, we've come to the end of Focus on FCT this week. Keep a date with us next week, same time, same station. Be vigilant and report suspicious activities around you. See you again next week.